cars.
I know a little bit about cars, but
I know how to make them run. You put gas in them.
yeah. Well, the thing is that you get to learn a whole lot about cars whenever your car's a piece of crap. My car's a piece of crap.
Yeah. I drive a base model Chevy, and I've driven a base model Chevy ever since I could drive. It hasn't been the same car. I just keep replacing it with a slightly better base model Chevy because, I know what parts that a Chevy needs.
Yeah.
And that's just I don't have to ask some guy that's gonna treat me like crap at the hardware store.
Sure. Yeah. Well, no. My car has over 250,000 miles on it.
Nice.
And the check engine light has been on for the past couple of weeks.
Do you need an oil change or?
No, I changed the oil recently, but no, it's just that car is just gonna eat my wallet or my soul or whatever.
I recently got an oil change, and they gave me a free tire air fill up. They filled up my tires.
Isn't that free
for
anyways?
free. I don't know. They just did it for free. But for some reason, whatever, the sensor on the tires still says that the air is low. I don't know if the sensor's broken or if they didn't really fill it up.
Yeah.
But I've noticed the sensor on it, if I do fill them up, it always says I filled up the complete opposite tire of the one I filled up. So I think it's just busted.
Maybe it's just backwards.
Yeah, that's kind of how I'm thinking it. So yeah, base model Chevys are not. I would not recommend.
No,
them.
I would also just not recommend buying a Chevy at all.
Yeah, my second base model Chevy got totaled in a car accident, and the whole entire front end, underneath the covering, was all styrofoam. It was
nice,
solid styrofoam,
quality American automotive.
I think it was made in Vietnam or Korea or somewhere.
Right, but Chevy is
basically it's everything in it was a Daewoo, but they put a Chevy logo on it.
That sounds exactly right.
Yeah. So
yeah.
If you're gonna get a Chevy, make sure you get the one with all the bells and whistles. So when it does start falling to crap, at least you have seat warmers.
True. I'm kind of on the opposite side to where whenever stuff starts falling apart, I replace it with nicer, better stuff.
Yeah, that's nice. You can kind of say you built it from the ground up.
Yeah.
It's like a hot rod, but it looks different.
Oh no, it looks awful. What I'm actually most proud of on my car is I have a whole bunch of nerdy decals on it. And if my car were to die suddenly, I would probably be most sad. About oh man, I have to buy all those decals again.
Yeah, that's one reason I haven't gotten a new car, because I like my bumper stickers a lot. So, it's. I think if you're going to have a car, you should give it personality.
Oh yeah.
Especially if it's going to be not a really nice car.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I'll ever have a really nice car because I've never been a big car guy. But if I did have the means to get a really nice one, I'd love to get a classic car, just a classic Ford or an old BMW. I like grandpa cars. I love the old station wagons. If it has an 8-track player, that's a plus.
Do you even have 8 tracks?
I do. I gave most of them to Jimmy, my drummer, because I needed to make room because I was moving into a smaller space. And
of course, Jimmy does have an 8-track player because he's awesome. He collects things.
Yes. I think most of the ones I gave him have been in a basement for a long time and probably need to be re-spooled or something, but they'll work once you do that. And I've always wanted a car that had a tape player because I have so many cassettes. If it was a car from the 80s would be really like a DeLorean.
Oh man,
I'd love to get one of those. even though they're like totally crap cars.
Well, yeah, but they're also like hard to get now because like
Yeah.
DMC is no longer around. But
And you know, I love Back to the Future, so
I probably haven't like fully watched.
Oh man.
Like all and this is actually what I was going to say initially, and then we just got on this tangent about cars, which like cool. Like a couple podcasts ago I got to talk about sports with with Trevor, which I would never do, but cool. And now we talked about cars.
Yeah, you're talking to the like antithesis of a car guy. I have an older brother, and he knows a lot about cars, and he gets like the car magazines.
Oh yeah,
with the different. My favorite page. I should have taken a picture of it. There's an entire page of nothing but like different types of car squeegees. Like it's down like the details they go into. Like you could get like an orange squeegee and it will sop up most of the water, but this squeegee is like the super squeegee. It will sop up even more. And you know, it's the same thing. Like, and every page goes into that much detail. It's like different kinds of spark plugs. Like this spark plug has, you know, copper, you know, connections or something. You know, it's. I'm always amazed, and like apparently they make a difference.
Well, the thing is, like every world sort of has its own things. I know
I have my obsessions, especially in the world of like audio and music. I'll constantly go look through the used bins, like trying to see if there's a you know, different masterings of stuff or different pressings. And you know, I'm a big nerd about that stuff. Especially because I like a lot of older music, so there's usually more than one option.
Do you collect records?
Yeah, I have a humble vinyl collection. It's not as big as others I've seen, but it's bigger than some of the others I've seen too. I do have like multiple pressings of certain albums, and definitely no shortage of Beatles.
See, the thing, like I would collect vinyls, but as soon as someone would get me a record player, that would, gosh, I would start buying too many vinyls.
I like predated the sudden renaissance of vinyl because when I was born, like my parents still had a record player, and I grew up listening to their records, and that's kind of what informs my sound, I think, in terms of like influences, because I listened to what my parents listened to as if it were new music because it was new to me.
Right.
So, you know, I grew up listening more to like Neil Diamond than like NWA.
Very, very different things.
Yeah. Although similar in many ways.
Still waiting on that NWA Neil Diamond collaborative record.
They both represented the streets, just different coastlines. Neil Diamond was from the streets of Brooklyn, and he had attitude.
But he wasn't N with attitude.
He was a Jewish white guy with attitude. He was forever in blue jeans, man. No, I love Neil Diamond. But getting off that, my parents had a lot of vinyl when I was growing up. And I inherited, like, they just gave it to me when I reached a certain age, and they gave me a new record player. So I grew up, like, with vinyl, like, always in the house. I've never not had a record collection. Yeah. So fast forward to all these years later, I've accumulated a lot more, and then suddenly vinyl is cool again. Yeah. So I've gotten, like, new record players that are, like, much better than what I used to have. I've gotten this old Technics turntable that I've restored to its original glory. And, so to me, what I love about vinyl is I think it's like, it must be like what classic car guys like about old cars. There's something about sitting in an old car and driving it and like having to use the stick shift and something about being more involved with it, and it makes you kind of feel more connected with the road.
Right, yeah.
And it's kind of like that. Like when I listen to a record, I have this big piece of vinyl. Yeah. I have to change the sides. I have to place the needle on the record to make it happen. Mm-hmm. Then I get to sit back, look at this huge cover, read the liner notes, like devour them, and then, sides over, get up. Mm-hmm. It's more an involved process, but it's it almost makes it more rewarding.
Right.
Especially when it's something that you put a lot of work into.
Yeah. And I mean, I've said it before, but like there's this idea of like, you want someone to listen to your album like in their lounge, because it's a lounge. Yeah. With like a robe on or something, like with a glass of wine or something while like the record is playing, and just like sitting there enjoying it. Like, ideally, that's what I want someone to do with my music. But
it's like either they're listening. Like I always think of Hugh Hefner. Like he always had the best stereo. Like, that's one thing that I always noticed. Like his stereo equipment was on point. Like like the old Playboy articles going back to like the 60s. That I found like in an old library, and like there's like articles about like caring for your records, or like how to pick the right stylus, or what speakers go best in your in your listening room. Right. And I was like, man, this guy was really into this kind of stuff, and he also liked boobs. Yeah. But I can overlook that. No, like, and it's hard to like have that same kind of experience with like a CD or an MP3. It's impossible to have with an MP3. MP3 is like instant. Like you just listen to it and it's like it's there. You don't physically have it. Sure. It's just kind of little bits of information that are on a chip somewhere.
The difference though is that and I guess that sort of also just speaks to my age, in that you're able to experience it in a different place, in a different, in your own way.
It's instant gratification, which I think can be good and bad. I think when iPods became all the rage, I definitely had one. And I loved having like all my favorite songs just right there. Yeah. And I just shuffled through them. But I think it also kind of killed my attention span with music. For a long time, I would just like listen to certain bits of songs and then just skip to the next one. And it killed the experience of listening to a whole album. And
that never happened to me.
It did for me. I think just because I listened to shuffle so much. Yeah. Or on shuffle. Mm-hmm. So when I would get new music, I would just load it in my computer, and I wouldn't listen to it as an album. I'd listen to it like whenever the song came on, that's when it came on. Right. So for a while, that's how I was listening to music. And then when my iPod broke, it was kind of a good omen, because I was able to just, I have it on CD. I'll just put the CD in my car and listen to it. And that was, I think that was good learning experience. Yeah, yeah. And that was right around when vinyl was making a big comeback, or just starting to. Yeah.
So I think a reason as to why I never sort of had that problem is, one, I never really had like an iPod that had like that much memory. Yeah. And so it was always like
it's kind of a secondary thing.
Yeah, yeah. Well, like I would have to sort of pick and choose, like, oh, I like this thing, and this is the thing that I'm going to listen to. Like, even with my phone right now, like up until like last week, I didn't have unlimited data, and so like I don't stream anything. I just like have the music, and I listen. And I would just pick an album and just listen to that over and over again. And so that experience has never like gone away from me. And so what I would do is just like some people, I guess, did different things with all of their free time whenever they were teenagers. Mm-hmm. My friend Noah, like, he's a really good guitarist, and he said that like, oh, whenever I was a teenager, I would just like go home and like play guitar until like I would go to bed. So like I'd get home from school, and like when I'd go to bed, I would just play guitar. I was like, cool. I would walk around and like listen to music by myself.
I played air drums to a lot of stuff. I started out as a drummer, so I had drumsticks. Yeah. But when you're in your parents' house, it's rude to play drums at like 10 o'clock at night. So I just put my headphones on and just like play air drums to whatever song it was. And I'd listen to it over and over again until I knew it like from top to bottom. Not just the drum part, but I knew like everything about it. I knew like when the bass player, like I knew what notes, like what inflections people were using and they're singing.
Yeah. Well, what's an album that like?
Well, any Beatles album, of course, any Beach Boys album. There's this great album by a band called the Crash Test Dummies, or just Crash Test Dummies, and it's their second album is called God Shuffled His Feet. And it has their big hit on it, which is called and that was a huge hit in my day. But he has like it was produced by one of the guys from the Talking Heads named Jerry Harrison, and it's so different from what was around at the time, and I don't really think anything since has been like comparable to it. There's a band in the UK called XTC, and I think some of their albums are the closest I've come to that kind of music. But what really sets it apart is the lead singer's voice, because it's so low and it's so deep, and it almost sounds like he's burping. It's very hard to explain, but there's something about it that really grabbed me in, and I know that album like top to bottom. And it's as an album, it flows really well.
Yeah.
Like some songs are segued, some songs. I think I first listened to it on cassette, so I learned it in terms of side A, side B. But then when I got it on CD, I drove around with it in my car for like a whole year. Yeah.
And that is really lately how people like get to know albums, is that they go, oh sure, I'll get this CD and just stick it in their car, and just every time they get in their car it starts playing, and so that's what they have forever.
Whenever I make an album, I always think of like, would this pass the car test? So I often drive around with the album finished in my car before I ever take it, to press or anything like that.
I kind of think that any album can pass the car test, in that whenever I listen to music in that way, it's not even so much that the music itself is good enough for me to do that with it. It's just that I have to be the one to be willing to put forth the effort into listening to it.
It's tricky when you're driving, because you're supposed to be concentrating on driving, not the music. But I think what's nice about being in a car is that you're almost forced to listen to it, unless you're really good at multitasking and you can change the songs while you're driving.
Nobody's that good at multitasking. Please do not hurt yourself.
Yeah, but when you can, sometimes I'll be driving and a song will come on. It'll be a song like if I listen to music on my phone now, and I kind of shuffle through it like it was an iPod. But I like to put songs on that I don't really know, just so I don't get bored.
Yeah.
So I'll be driving and this song will come on that I apparently put on my phone, not that I remember it, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know I had this song here, and so I'll listen to it. It's like, hey, I like this song. I like this song. I'll keep it. So that's kind of my new style.
Yeah. And the thing is that my style sort of shifts, and also in the way that like I don't listen to music that often anyways, because I just listen to a lot of podcasts and a lot of audiobooks. And so also my car's speakers up until recently have just been absolute shit.
Did you just replace them? Or?
Yeah, a friend of mine bought me some new speakers, and
nice.
But it was only the rear speakers, and so I just have the music only going to the rear speakers. So
it's nice and boomy.
Yeah, it is. But there actually is bass, and whenever that bass happens, it's not like a
rattle. When my older brother first started driving, he got this like 95 Mustang, and it was like 1997, 98, and it was like a little tiny little car, and he put like one of those huge subwoofers in the back. But the back speakers, instead of being like most of the speakers in the back, they're either in the door or they're like under the back windshield.
Yeah.
These speakers were right next to the seats, right where the seatbelt hung. So if no one was sitting back there, the seatbelt would rattle,
yeah.
on the seat. And I'll never forget, we were driving, like he was picking me up from elementary school or something, and Ghetto Superstar was on the radio. It was like, Ghetto Superstar. Just the rattle of the... and I can't listen to that song anymore.
Without thinking of that rattle?
Without thinking of that rattle.
Yeah, yeah.
It sounded like, when the rattling was so intense, it almost sounded like a swarm of bees in time with the music.
Yeah. That's actually something that would happen with certain songs, that there was a time where I may or may not have pirated a lot of music, but like because of like LimeWire being all weird and stuff, like some songs would like skip or like have errors in them or whatever, and I would actually like know the song with the error in it.
I'll never forget, I got a mix CD one time, and one of the songs had the AIM chat sound, like when someone left the AIM chat, like the door slam. It was just on like one of the songs, and I was like, I can't listen to this song now without hearing that door. Just like at the nice, I forget which song it was, but it was like the nice quiet moment in the song, and just your the slam of the door. Kind of worked for the song, I think. Yeah, no, and that's the thing, that like after a while, and that's why I sort of listen to music in that way, is that you don't, like, the album doesn't do that for you. It's sort of you do that for the album, in that like you learn the order of the songs, and you learn the feeling of where it's going and stuff, and sort of, because I think that, you know, some music that we listen to a whole lot, and we know like every intricate thing, that I know whenever I'm making the music, I'm just kind of like, oh, here's just a random thing that I threw on there, and like it sounded cool, but whenever someone else listens to it to that extent, they like can follow that. I think I kind of apply it to when I'm making music myself, because before the album is finished, I kind of have a good idea of what the final track order is going to be. So when I'm mixing, I always kind of have the idea in my head, like, okay, when this fades out, the next song has to be like this song. It has to flow this way. And one thing that Jimmy, our drummer, said that about Mama's Boy, which is our recent album, he said like the flow of this album is like, you cannot put these songs in any other order. And I was like, well, that's kind of the intention. Not that it's like a concept album, but I think the songs in the order they are like the way they need to be. So I thought of a greatest hits album almost like scares me. Not that we've had hits, but like the idea of a compilation of someone like coming in and like changing the order of the songs and like just presenting them all willy-nilly. It's kind of like, no. Well, don't do that.
Because you spend a lot of time like, oh, well, you know, you have these three songs that sort of set this tone, and then you gotta like have the slower song to like sort of balance that out.
You can't put this song and
like,
not have this song. But also, you know, I grew up with cassettes too. And one of the best things about the cassette generation was you got to tape songs off the radio. So you got used to hearing certain songs with like the DJ talking over the end of them. You know, I have one cassette I have has I think "Getting Jiggy with It" by Will Smith going into a Bette Midler song, and it's like it was like a dance Bette Midler song, like when it was the late '90s, folks. Quite amazing. But I can't hear it, like I can't hear it without hearing that segue in my head.
And now, since like my parents recently upgraded to unlimited data or whatever, is it alive?
It's an OtterBox.
Okay. I've been like streaming some of my favorite albums, but ads are so infuriating.
I don't stream very much for that reason. Also, I don't like the idea of having people knowing what I'm listening to all the time. I know you can turn that option off, but I'm kind of too lazy to bother with it.
Right.
So I actually just deleted Spotify off my phone because it was just taking up space and I wasn't using it.
I'm the absolute worst, and I'm just listening to stuff off of YouTube.
I mean, that's, go for it. It's there, so use it.
Yeah, but every time an ad comes up, like, especially since these are albums that I know front to back, like an ad just breaking that flow of the songs that you know so well, it's like, it literally just, I don't know, probably like 5 times this morning when I was driving, an ad came on and I was like, fuck you.
I love satellite radio when it first came out, but the sound quality is so shitty. And it'll never be good because the satellites are miles and miles and miles away, and we're down here, and the little receiver they give you is like a cell phone receiver.
Yeah.
And it just all sounds like a underwater MP3, like the worst quality. And then they do something with the EQ. They like shave off the top end, off the EQ, so it already sounds bad anyway. Even if you had like a good reception, it would still sound like crap. And I'm like, it's so ironic. Like you get the best selection with no commercials, and yet
the worst quality. Sound. Yeah.
It's like it tells you where the priorities are at.
Yeah.
For the common people.
Right.
It's like they don't care about quality. And they never have, because look at 8-tracks. When those were like the popular format, they sucked. But that's what people want because it was the most convenient thing.
Yeah. Does vinyl sound better?
If it's like a vinyl is typically mastered from the same thing that they mastered the digital version from. It's just kind of like, what really makes a difference is where the album was pressed. If it was pressed at a good pressing plant, it's probably going to sound great. If it was pressed on good vinyl, it's going to sound good. If your turntable has a good setup with a good cartridge, there's a lot of variables.
Yeah.
So just, I can't say offhand, like, will it sound better? I will say I have heard really good sounding vinyl. Most of them are really expensive because they're like the good top quality reissues. But I've heard new vinyl that sounds good too. But I've also heard some really crappy sounding vinyl.
Yeah.
And most of it's been new, and most of it's been pressed at this place called United Pressing Plant in I think Nashville. I don't know what they use to press. It sounds like it's the noisiest vinyl, and that's always been my like big pet peeve with vinyl is noise. When it's a new record and I put it on and it's noisy as fuck. Like, I just paid like a good chunk of change for this.
Sure.
Can you please, who does your quality control? Or the biggest, like even worse than that, is if the record's off center or warped. So yeah, vinyl can sound better, but a lot of people need to do their job for it to sound good, and you need to have good sounding equipment to play it on. You can't just put it on a Crossley and be like, "Oh, it sounds so much better, man." As nice as those Crossleys look, they and as much as they cost, you think they would sound good, but they unfortunately they're made of cheap plastic. So don't
everything in our world is made of cheap plastic now.
They are the Chevy of turntables. They're the Daewoo Chevy.
Yeah. See, because I've never quite understood really, and I mean, like,
a lot of the people I've met that said vinyl is better grew up when vinyl was like the only thing. But also
that placebo nostalgia effect.
That, and I think a big part of why they think it's better is because CDs and digital files highlight high end. And analog with vinyl and analog tape, you're going to get more low end. And I think low end, especially when it's analog, is always going to kind of have a more warm tone to it than it does on digital. Because there's something about bass frequency that doesn't always necessarily carry over to digital quite as well as it translates through vinyl. And I think it's because it's analog and it kind of makes it more like a physical thing that you can picture in your mind.
Yeah.
Whereas on CD, it's like, yeah, it sounds kind of like a bass. It's very boomy. It must be a bass.
I think it might also be that like it's more like honest.
Yeah,
that like analog does stuff to sound.
Analog colorizes the sound just a little bit, and a lot of people like that because, when things like jazz recordings, it kind of helps it because jazz recordings they're very sparse and there's like usually 3 guys playing. In digital, it's kind of boring. It just kind of sounds flat.
Yeah.
When it's on analog or coming out of a record player, it makes it kind of more lifelike because it gives it more of a human quality.
See, and then like, and we had this conversation.
I'm not saying one's better than the other.
Right. But they are like digital, and I tend to lean more digital. One, because I'm poor, but 2, because I'm young.
Yeah, I like digital more in the terms that if I want to hear like how it sounds like just straight out of the studio or straight out of the mastering studio, the digital is going to give you that. If I want to hear it with a bit of coloration based on like the specs of my system, I would try to go for the vinyl because my system is set up how I like to listen to music.
Yeah.
And all the equipment I have on it, I have like old receivers and the wires I use and the speakers I use, and that's all going to change.
Yeah.
But with digital, it's like it's just there. It's like it's how it was meant to be. Vinyl and analog is like it's more tailored to what I like. And that's why.
So you're just giving a huge middle finger to the mixing and mastering engineers.
Not necessarily a middle finger, because they master it so it sounds good on any system.
Right.
Ideally, not just the system they play it on. And they kind of factor in like, okay, some guy's gonna play this through like equalizers and just fuck up everything I do. So, really, I think if I want to just listen to what the work they've all put into it and appreciate it for what it is, digital is a good example for that.
Sure.
I always laugh when I see like analog reviews or like vinyl reviews. It's like, this sounds so much more like what they intended. And I'm like, well, you're listening through it like through like this huge vinyl like turntable that's like 10 feet tall, and it's probably like colorizing like every single sound. And like you can listen to the CD and get the same thing like totally unaltered. So I don't know. It's
just versions.
It's kind of on the mood you're in. If like I have no preference really. I like I said, I like the experience of listening to a record. But it's kind of like reading a book. You have to also buy the time to read it. So if you're on the go, digital is definitely your friend. You can't really take a vinyl into the car. And
they should make those.
I know they did have 45 players. I don't know if they ever did the big 12-inch.
But then you'd have to make sure that your car like is able to just not
need some good shocks.
Or else you're just gonna like skip all over the place.
Well, I remember when CD players, we first got the first CD player in my family's car, and you couldn't go over many bumps, and you couldn't. My dad smoked. Every time he'd smoke, the smoke would go into the CD player and totally like mess it up.
Wow.
That CD player didn't last too long. That was a Chevy Blazer too. There's a pattern of Chevys.
No, I mean like. Frick, I forgot what I was saying. But even with books and time and stuff, like I had recently sort of recently, I had borrowed Watchmen from Jimmy, and
the book.
Yeah, the comic book, and I like was gonna read it, but then like I lost track of time, and like I got probably like 3/4 of the way through, but like I lost track of time. It's just like sitting on my shelf, and I'm like, I don't. If I start reading this again, I'll probably just have to start over. And so like,
I don't think I'd ever lend out a book to someone because it seems like every time I've done that, it's never come back because it just goes on their shelf and they're like, yeah, I'll read this. One time I was in a relationship that didn't last too long, unfortunately, or fortunately, because now I'm married, so I'm happy. But they gave me a book, and it was like, this is my favorite book, and I want you to read it. And I tried to read it, and I had no interest in it at all. And I was like, I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Like, do I tell them, like, I don't like this book? Or do I say, like, I'm really, like, do I go look at the Spark Notes and just, like, this character's really cool. He's got some depth. But it was just something I couldn't get into. And the name of the book has escaped me because I blocked it from my mind. But, I felt like that was probably the end of that relationship right there.
Well, I mean, not necessarily, because I mean, you're allowed to not like the same things, and I mean,
I think that was something that this person needed to be made more aware of. In fact, I stay friends with my exes because I try to be nice. So, like, I don't have any animosity towards them, but. This one such ex, shall we say, posted a Facebook like status. This was like maybe 6 years ago, but it always stuck out in my mind because I thought it was really funny. They said, like, what are your tips on how a good relationship? And I was like, well, try not to make them read books that you like. Try to like their interests for what they are, and
not make them like the things that you like. Yeah. I've learned that. I've been with my girlfriend for it'll be 8 years next week. So yeah, like she doesn't like Tom York's voice, and that hurts me a little.
Yeah, there's a lot of music I like that my partner does not, and torture them with it every day. No, it's I like people like Joni Mitchell and just that singer-songwriter stuff, and it just goes so over people of my generation's head, really. But then again, I don't like everything that people in my generation like.
Right.
Such as I've never. I can honestly. I know Radiohead's your favorite band. I've never really got into Radiohead.
Yeah.
I think it's because it was very big when I was. They're huge.
Yeah.
It's to this day. I don't know what it was. I think it's a boat that I missed.
Nah.
It's kind of like Harry Potter. Like I never got into that either.
Right.
I'm just losing fans over this right now.
No, I mean I think that.
I'm just a terrible
That's actually
person,
the first thing that I was going to talk about, but you're good at this, and so we're able to just kind of navigate wherever our conversation goes. So my initial point was going to be that, like, I don't really – my range and taste of music is actually not that broad. And, like, all the stuff that people – say that, like, oh, you have to listen to this, or like everyone knows this. I don't know.
I find the stuff that people say you have to listen to be the most boring stuff a lot of the time. It has to be something that I discovered, or that something I hear that really like makes me perk up. If it's something that a magazine is telling me it's important, I automatically don't want to listen to it. And I think that's kind of where the aversion to Radiohead comes from, because Rolling Stone and like all the important magazines were like really over the moon with everything they did. And so I kind of just stayed away. It's kind of like Arcade Fire. Yeah. Like everyone was like so like
I've been trying to catch up with Arcade Fire, and I like it.
You know, I hear like little bits and pieces, and I like what I hear, but it's never made me want to say like, oh, I'm just going to go buy the whole album. Mm-hmm. It's like I guess that song's good, and that's kind of like my thing with Radiohead. Like I'll hear the song and I'm like, yeah, that's good, but I think it's one of those bands that feels like they have so many albums at this point. It'd be like it'd be a huge investment.
But
I think
A Moon-Shaped Pool might have been their last album. So
you know, I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, as I'm going to reach a certain age, where I'm going to buy a Radiohead album, but I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
I'm kind of gonna, because I'd probably start with In Rainbows, because a lot of people tell me like that's the album that I would like the most, because it's the most I don't want to say commercial, but it's and then like my brother had OK Computer, so I'm more familiar with that. And of course, I know like the hits, like I know Creep, and then
but everyone has to know Creep.
Yeah, everyone knows Creep. That's like their Bohemian Rhapsody or whatever.
Yeah,
not really.
No, because Creep, like Bohemian Rhapsody is good.
Yeah, it's their We Will Rock You.
There you go. Yeah,
it's. When you see like people like Tears for Fears doing a cover of Creep, it's like, what?
Yeah,
it's I don't know.
The thing is, like,
that's a song that has probably lived longer than they thought it would.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah,
because
it's longer than they would like.
Yeah, I mean, I keep thinking like, what's going to be what's going to be the Lunar Laughs Creep? Like, what's going to be the song that keeps coming back to like haunt us? Like, are we good enough to have a song like that?
I mean, do people like always ask for a song or something?
You know, there's actually a running joke we have in our shows, and that's Connor's girlfriend always screams for Nighthawks and Mona Lisa, which is the last track on Mama's Boy. The reason we have her do that was because some reviewer said this is our signature song.
Oh.
And like, we don't know where that came from, because it's not really representative of what we do. Mm-hmm. It's like a shuffle song. It's very upbeat. Mm-hmm. It's a love song. And it's kind of totally different from what we do usually. So we usually do like more serious songs, but this song was kind of like da, 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 da. It's very snappy, and so it's like, and this is our signature song.
Right.
And so we have his girlfriend like say like towards the end of the show, she'll go Nighthawks, like it's Freebird or something.
Yeah.
And like we someday we want like a fan base of like just the fat bald guy like drunk off his ass going Nighthawks, man. Nighthawks, like our Freebird.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, the thing is that some bands have like those songs, but I think that I want to be respectful enough to them and have them feel that like, I know you guys are tired of playing this song. Y'all don't have to play this song. It's okay.
I will say that I saw Blues Traveler at the zoo back in like 2003. And they had like 2 or 3 hits, and I was expecting to hear
the hits.
Those.
Yeah.
They played a lot of album tracks. They played like deep cuts off like soundtracks and stuff. They played some of their new songs. They maybe only played one of their hits.
Right.
And I kind of felt cheated. I was like, well, yeah, they were good, but I didn't hear Hook, which is like, that's like the song. So yeah, that was...
Yeah.
That was one of the weirder, like I've been to shows where the bands didn't play the song I wanted them to hear, but at the same time, it was like, oh, they played other songs I liked. But with Blues Traveler, I was kind of on the fence, because Hook was the song that I really, really liked. And it just so happened to be like their big hit.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, last time I saw Modest Mouse, they didn't play Float On.
So that would disappoint me.
They did play Dashboard, so...
Yeah, I mean, speaking of Float On, I can't hear that song without hearing The World at Large before it.
Oh,
like,
yeah. They need to flow into each other.
It's like if you like, whenever I'm in a restaurant and I just hear like Float On starting, I'm like, oh.
Oh, but you missed the... Yeah.
Well, one time I was in a restaurant, I think it was Saturn Grill, and they played The World at Large, but they didn't play Float On, and I was like, Well,
that's even the opposite of what. Yeah,
that's a pickle.
Saturn
right
Grill plays great music.
They do, although they need to fix some of their Motown stuff because they're playing the re-recordings and not the originals. My friend Chris Anderson works there. I think he still works there. Shout out to Chris. And he helped us out on the latest Lunar Laugh stuff. He also worked on some of my solo stuff on the Freebird EP. And he's a genius, by the way. He like we were talking about something and he was like, yeah, they drives me nuts. I'm like hearing like the worst like re-recording of some like classic mode like My Girl or something by the Temptations. And it's like it doesn't even sound, I don't think it's the original guy at all. It's like, everybody in the Temptations is dead for like except for one guy.
That is weird.
Yeah, that's it's kind of, I think it's because
it's like listening to like a knockoff brand.
A lot of music, because of the copyright law of 1972, a lot of that music gets re-recorded so that artists can collect on royalties. And like you see them in the sale rack at like Walmart. Yeah. And like you get the CD and it's like, oh, I like these songs. And then like teeny little writing at the bottom, it says new stereo recordings of the classic hits. And it's very funny, like, because some of them are good and some, like, they're obviously not the originals. But then some of them are just like, they weren't even trying. It's like they're different keys.
We really just want the royalty, guys.
And well, it's always funny is like when the bands have like split apart and then reunite with like totally new lineups and they're still like singing these songs. And that happens all the time with like every 60s band I love. Like the Temptations is a good example because like pretty much everybody is dead except the one main guy,
right?
Who didn't even sing really. So, like you go, like I see the advertisements for like they're coming to the casino, like Temptations, and it's like that's not the Temptations,
right?
That's a tribute band, pretty much.
Yeah,
or like Leonard Skinner.
Although honestly, whenever I see ads for like bands coming to play at casinos in Oklahoma, it's like, I'm sorry.
I'm not sorry that those casino gigs pay really well. So,
well then good, but like,
I mean, I'm glad that they're still able to make a living out of.
Sure. It's not even so much the fact that it's a casino. It's more like a casino in Oklahoma is what I feel bad about.
Well, especially, there's the Riverwind, which I really like. Because it's kind of in a more populated area. It's not in the middle of nowhere. But then there's the Windstar. I just went to the Windstar to see Ringo and his all-star band. Great show, but it has the worst seating ever because the room was meant for conventions. It wasn't meant for concerts. No. So the seating is just all the same level, just all the way back. And then they have two big screens. Like, they'll just look at the screens. Yeah. They don't have to see the stage. So if someone in front of you stands up, you can't see. And if you're like me and you're short, you just can't see.
Right.
So yeah, I would, and that's like the problem is it's the biggest casino.
Yeah.
And if you sell it out, you're going to make so much money.
Sure.
So more people want to go to that than to Riverwind, which has really nice seating, but just it holds a little less people.
Yeah.
And because Windstar is between Texas and Oklahoma, so you get from both sides, whereas Riverwind is like kind of in Norman.
Yeah.
And it's just like you're just going to get whoever comes. So, when it's presented like that, most people want to book the Windstar. Or the Hard Rock in Tulsa. I've never been there, but
I've never been there either.
I hate the Hard Rock so much.
Right, but there's also like real venues, like
and
not that casinos aren't real venues.
The problem is a lot of the people that I listen to and I really want to see aren't playing those venues because I like old stuff. So
right,
but you even see people like Robin Thicke and
playing casinos and stuff,
and or like Pitbull.
That's just,
and I'm like, isn't this like one of the best selling artists like of this time? And he's like,
shouldn't he have the Chesapeake?
That would be like Rihanna playing at like the Windstar.
Yeah.
Or
Ooh, that would be bad. That would be a bad show. I don't care how much she kills it. That would just be a bad show.
I don't know if she's ever been known for her live performances or not.
I don't know.
I will say that her production on her records is really
right.
good. I'm not a big fan of, like you were saying, as far as broad musical taste goes, as far as new stuff goes, I'm kind of, it all kind of takes a back seat to the stuff I really like. But I do listen for production, and she and like people like Shakira and Beyonce always have great production.
Yeah. No, Taylor Swift's albums are like top-notch production. And I don't know how much of it she actually works on, but like they sound really good.
She's always just been really annoying to me. I don't know what it is. It's just one of those things, like, I can't listen to her. And like, I don't mean any like harm towards her, but like, something about her really rubs me the right way, wrong way.
Well, no, I think it's I was thinking about it, and my brother pointed it out, like, hit the nail on the head, is that her music is pretty good, but it's like such a event that
it's
like
always
you
come
have
off
to
as like there's something about it that's generic.
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's like catchy, but is it like, if she were fat and like had pimples all over her face, would people care? Like, I think it's kind of been more about her look and the way it's presented.
Yeah. It's an event in the presentation. It's like, oh, that I'm Taylor Swift. You know that I've said these things or had this beef with people. And so since you have this context around the song, you can enjoy it in that way.
Yeah. And it just with everything she puts out, it just seems to get more and more like that. And it kind of reaches new levels of stupid.
Yeah.
And it's like, I like that. Look what you made me do. I couldn't even I didn't have to watch it to know I didn't want to watch. I
think the music video made the song better, honestly.
And it shouldn't be that way.
It shouldn't, because music videos don't make money.
Yeah,
but
it should be the other way around. It should you should like the video because you like the song. I know videos can change the context of the song.
Yeah,
kind of give you more of an idea of what it's about, or more of something to think of or visualize,
or something
you hear
entirely unrelated.
Yeah.
Make you really confused. Every Tool music video is like, what is going on here?
Yeah, Tool music videos you can watch with the mute button on and still enjoy.
Oh yeah,
but yeah, I just it's wow. Taylor Swift, I don't know.
Yeah. Although talking about Tool, listening to Parabola without Parable before it, that's another one that's just like, but you have this whole lead up to it. It's literally the name without a letter. You have to put that right before the thing. Because there's some like rock radio stations, it's just like, boom, here's that impact at the beginning.
They just want to squeeze as much commercials as they can. Well, I think I gotta go.
Okay.
In a little bit. So.
Well.
Good night, everybody.
In which case, yeah. I'm Santiago Ramones.
I am Jared Lee Kites, and you've been listening to me ramble on.
We've both been rambling on. Real quick, where can we find you and your things?
Me and my things are going to be at thelunarlaugh.com, or you could check The Lunar Laugh out on iTunes. We're also on YouTube, Instagram, all those, Facebook, and all those non-physical entities.
Or that December 30th show at the Root?
Yes, we're playing December 30th at the Root for those of you in Oklahoma City. Even if you're not in Oklahoma City, you can come check us out and buy an actual record. Yeah. Cool. Again, thank you. This is a lot of fun. This is a very natural conversation. And it started off talking about crappy cars.
Yeah. I'm Santiago Ramones. You can find everything that I do on my website, santiagoramones.com. You can buy my stuff on Bandcamp or not buy it and still download it.
No, buy it.
And I have a demo with 6 songs or a single off of that. And let me know what you think or of this podcast as well. And if you'd like to, I don't know, be on the podcast or let me know
Just
what you
comment.
think of the just comment
That's
on
how
the
I got
post,
here.
and I'll probably get you on, and we'll have other weird conversations about music and crappy cars. I end every podcast with my 3 things. Those 3 things shape my life philosophy. Those 3 things are: love never fails. It's going to be okay. I might be wrong.